Hey everybody, it's Maggie from Personal Euphoria, and today we're going to talk about just like how to work on diaphragmatic breathing, which is a deep, like big belly breath, expanding all your ribs. I do think very often when we talk about breathing, people get a little nervous or tense because it does seem like, shouldn't we all be able to breathe? And if you feel like you can't breathe right, instead of getting relaxed, which helps us breathe, we sort of tighten and restrict because we feel bad that we can't breathe. But here's the thing. The body's adaptable and it can always change, and as long as you're alive, you're breathing enough. But we want to learn to have different control over our breaths and be able to do a diaphragmatic breath, because there's research that shows it helps reduce stress, which is key right now. There's research that shows it helps us sleep. I know I need any tool for that. So I've been experimenting with using diaphragmatic breath when I go to bed at night lately, and it certainly is relaxing, right? Whether it's helping me sleep, jury's still out. But anyway, there's all different ways we can breathe, but a diaphragmatic breath is really getting your diaphragm to get involved. And a lot of people breathe sort of just into their chest, or their shoulders go up and down when they breathe. So I think tactile cueing, like actually touching yourself, is a good way to get a sense as to whether you can work this diaphragmatic breath. So that's what we're going to go over today. Just different places to sort of touch and feel if you can breathe into that spot. So the first one would be either side. You could do both together or one side at a time. Put your hands on the front of your bottom ribs and just try to breathe and see if you can get movement there. Breathing into that point of contact. You can wiggle your fingers if it helps with feedback, or maybe just touching there is helpful. And maybe the answer is right now you don't feel anything moving, but just try to direct the breath into that hand. Then you can try the other side, and sometimes, believe it or not, one side will have movement and one side will not, depending on where we're tight. So try to breathe into that hand. Getting those ribs to expand. And then next, you can either place your hand kind of behind you on your ribs or use your opposite hand, whatever feels more comfortable. But you want to feel for your low ribs in the back. Can you get those to move when you breathe in? Things to visualize are to imagine, keep trying to practice it, but imagine your ribs opening and closing like an accordion, or opening like an umbrella on the inhale and closing on the exhale. Inhale and exhale. Can you get movement under the fingertips there? And then finally, you're going to put your hands, this is the one I've been practicing at night. I lie on my back and I do it, but you can be seated. Put your hands as low on your stomach as you can, kind of like right in the crease of your hips. And you're going to look to see if you can get your belly to expand that low. Now, here's the thing, especially women, they often try to suck it in. But on a good diaphragmatic breath, your stomach has to release. On the exhale, you can actively engage again. But this is really important, not just for relaxation, but pelvic floor health and proper tone of your pelvic floor. So if you have any pelvic floor issues, diaphragmatic breathing can help as well. So put your hands as low on your belly as you can and try to see if you can get movement there. And that stomach has to inflate. Exhale. You can draw the abs back in again. Inhale. Can you get movement really low where your stomach and hips connect? Inhale. And exhale. So once you've played with all that, if you feel like you can get movement, that's a great start. If you don't, just try to relax and play with it. Try it someplace quiet. Also, one thing to check in on is, are you really doing it from the sink of the breath? Like when you inhale, are you expanding? When you exhale, are you contracting the abs? Or because without breathing, I can move my stomach muscles and push them in and out, right? So are you just moving your muscles, or are you letting the breath kind of guide that? So that's just something to consider too. But always a useful tool to turn to, especially again, if you're stressed, need time to sleep, have digestion issues. It's a great way to move our organs, right? So have fun playing and keep moving.